Today, I present to you Redactor. Redactor is a Chrome extension that lets you redact any page on the internet. Are you recording your screen and want to hide a certain part of the page? Or maybe you are seeing a print screen of a website and want to hide personal information such as your name or your phone number. Redactor can do that and much more. Once you have it installed, you'll see the Chrome extension here on the top or under the extensions menu. When you click it, a few options will appear. The first one is to turn on. This simply turns on Redactor with the current options. So if I just turn it on, you'll see that the whole page will get hidden. In this case, I chose not to redact images, so you'll see that images are still seen, but the text itself is all hidden. Even if I click another page, so let's say I click this link to see a specific article, and you'll see that the page itself also gets Redactor. For this to work, it has to be the same link. So this is the main functionality. Of course, you can always turn it off if you want to go back to the normal page. You just have to reload after that. And besides that, there's also the redact once, which will simply redact the current page. And if you go to another web page or something, it will not be redacted, as you can see here. Now let's go on to the redacting options. So the first one is to redact the redacting mode. It will either be redacted or random letters. So redacted turns any character that you want to redact into a little square, as you saw before, while random letters simply turns the character into a random letter. And that's pretty much it. Now redact images, just as the name indicates, it will redact images if you want to. So by pressing yes and doing redact once or turn on, you'll see that the image gets hidden. They get replaced with this placeholder image. Now let's set things back to the default and let's go back to the non-redacted page. Okay, now to the fun part. You can choose which parts of the text to redact or not. So let's say you want to hide numbers. You could just choose just to hide numbers or just to hide specific words. And this is done via the rules section here. There's a few templates of rules that you can type that you can already pick from, but you can also write your own. So the most basic one is this one, which uses a regular expression to redact everything on the page. This is a regular expression to anything. And this is pretty much a syntax. You type redact, you type the mode of redacting, and you type the expression that you want to redact. So in this case, I'm choosing to redact through regular expressions, anything on the page. I could also choose to redact only numbers. So there's actually a template here for that, using regular expressions as well. So again, this is redact using regular expressions, any number of the page. So if I do redact once, you'll see that the numbers get turned into these little squares, but everything else remains the same. Now let me show you some other redacting possibilities. So you can also redact a certain string. So you just type, for example, redact string, let's see certain strings. So for example, create here, let's redact that. So if I type here create, you'll see that the string gets redacted as long as everything after that. You can also replace a string. So let's say I type here replace, and then I have to do string. The string that I want to replace, let's type maybe code burst here, this word here, then an arrow, and then let's replace it with a hello. And you'll see that this word here will get replaced by hello. There you go. Finally, there's two more ways to select ways that you want to redact. The first one is using Css Selectors. So you'll have to do redact, then this word here, jQuery cell, and then the CSS selector that you use. This is the same way that CSS works. So you just type here, just like a normal CSS expression. Say I want to redact H2. This will redact any H2 heading on the page. So if I do redact once, you'll see that the H2 headings were redacted. And that's it. The same thing can be achieved with Xpath, which is just another way to select parts of the DOM. Let me just go back so that we have stuff normal again. And it works pretty much in the same way. You just do redact, then Xpath, which is the reducting mode, and then you do the Xpath expression. In this case, to select h2s, you'll have to do so // to select anything on the page, and finding every h2 and redacting it. So if I type redact once, you'll see again everything gets redacted. So everything that I just explained here can be seen in this help menu. You'll see it's not very pretty, but you'll see that everything's here. You even have links to see how to use regular expressions and CSS selectors, as well as some examples. And that's pretty much it. Redact is a whole new way to redact stuff on the internet, and I hope it is as helpful to you as it is to me.